Hey everyone, before this episode starts, it's important to remember anything we say on this podcast should be taken as a bad joke and should not be taken seriously. Ever.
Take your balls.
Welcome, everybody, to the Slightly Diverse Podcast. This is I, Milk, and I am joined by Bordelon. Go ahead, speak, Bordelon, speak.
He just
Yeah.
got impaled on a pike.
And we got Argus.
Yes.
And
You are-
Argus was telling us about the meaning of life earlier.
No, don't. What?
No,
No.
he needs to give his review of Infamous Second Son.
Well, before that, he has to give the meaning of life to the
What's
audience.
the meaning of life?
Meaning of life, it's different for everybody. Suck it.
No, tell me.
That's not what you said earlier.
I don't know what the fucking meaning of life is. You're not. I didn't talk
Are
about
you
that.
keeping secrets from the audience now?
What's the CIA?
The
We're all-
secrets
we're
of the
all-
meaning of life.
We're all keeping secrets from the audience, okay?
It's true. I haven't told the audience that I'm actually a beautiful hot chick
No.
with cool
the meaning
tits.
The meaning of life is I don't know. 'Cause I
Is-
wasn't talking about it.
Is the new porn star that got famous on Pornhub recently.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
No, there was some hot ass redhead on the hub.
I'm happy that I don't want to talk about that.
That's the meaning of life. She
I
has
am
it.
I am
Someone find her address.
So happy for you, but I don't care.
If the audience wants to find her address and then find the meaning of life by asking her, go ahead. She has it. She's told me. She's told Argus even.
You didn't tell me anything, bro. I don't even know who you're talking about. Truth be told.
I forgot her name, but it's a hot look up redhead on the hub. But yeah, dude. Speaking of redheads, you banged a redhead in the Infamous Second Son, right?
No, she's not a redhead.
But
She has purple hair. She's dyed. She's not an actual redhead.
So before you give your review, just give us
she sounds like Snooki from what's the Jersey something. The
Jersey Shore?
Yeah, because of the way she talks, the way she talks.
She talks. Oh, she's a
Or
Jersey girl.
Or she's Bostonian. I don't know where Fetch is from.
She is a Jersey girl.
Okay, I had figured.
Well,
She
they're
kinda
near.
talks like it.
It's in Seattle, and she
Well, I
is
know, but
from there.
she's not from Seattle.
Yes, she is.
No, she's
Oh,
not.
so they just gave her a
Yes,
Jersey accent
she
for no
is.
reason.
So her story goes is that once her powers manifested as a conduit, her parents were gonna call the DUP, and her brother ran away, and they had gone from city to city, but they inevitably settled and ended up in Seattle. So no, she's not from Seattle. My best guess is based on her accent. She's from back east.
She's from
Oh.
Boston.
But she could be from Boston. She could also be from the Jersey Shore.
She eats the gabagool. Does she say gabagool at any point?
I don't know. That's a very good question.
She's not Italian.
No, well, that's what they say in The Sopranos. They're from Jersey.
We're not talking about The Sopranos.
Oh, is that
God,
gabagool?
You love that movie,
yeah.
don't you?
It's a show. It's a
Oh.
very, very, very good show. Yeah.
Well, you love that movie, don't you?
It's a show.
You love
love
that
that.
cartoon, don't you?
But, like,
Milk?
yeah, you love that movie, though, right?
Which one?
That's a fun YouTube short he's looking at.
You love that movie, though, right? The Sopranos.
No, it's a show.
You love the
But
movie
I
Sopranos,
do
right?
love it. I do love it. I do love it. Some would say. But anyways, give us your out of 10 quick
Yeah,
number.
before we go off track and Milk starts making stupid jokes again.
I'm trying to get it on track. You guys are going off track.
Shut up. So, we're wondering my honest rating of Infamous Second Son.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Solid 6 out of 10.
6
Actually,
out
no,
of 10.
7. I'll give it a 7.
7 out of 10 is not bad.
No, it's the game wasn't not fun. It was a very fun game. There were story though, it kind of like story and length. I played like 12 hours of the game, but that's because I completed everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did all the districts, I did all the tracker drones, I did everything. Um, just about everything. So I'm fairly certain I got most, if not all, of the base game achievements. The only so yeah, story was rather short. I think if you just went straight through every story mission, game took you 5 hours. It was a lot like
Wait, did
Miles. Go ahead.
did you do both, good and evil?
No, I
'Cause that's
haven't
why
done
it's
the
short.
I haven't done the evil karma because I went full good karma, so I didn't have access to any of those missions.
Yeah, that's why that's the replay value. Is just to play it twice, good and evil.
Well, you know, sure, but the main story, even if I had, if I did both, the main story is still 5.5 hours long. Even if I did 2 playthroughs, making it a total of 10 or 11, but still, main story, you can breeze through it in a single day. It's not hard. It took me 2 days because I did everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, story is super duper short. Delson's a cool character. I like his punk rock aesthetic, you know. um I like the gameplay's fun. There were a couple moments that I got really pissed, like I got really angry over this fucking ledge of a building I couldn't stand on, because like, you know, Delson kind of kind of fucking like gravitates towards ledges, so they make like, oh, you could kind of jump around, parkour and stuff. There was this one particular ledge I was trying to stand on to shoot down on dudes with, and the ledge just wouldn't let me stand on it, which throw me off. So I got really angry at that. um
What was your favorite power?
my favorite power, honestly, it would had to be between neon and video. I really liked um I really liked the you know, the powers you get from fetching Eugene, mostly because it makes traversal of the game world makes traversal of the game world a lot easier. The smoke powers are cool, they look neat. It's just they're really bad when it comes to traversal. There's only like so many bits and areas of the map that you can like scale buildings with the smoke. You have to go vents, you have to do all this that. um but so the thing I liked most is the traversal of the city was really fun. I just needed the powers to do that. um you know, Augustine, not a great, I'm not even gonna lie, Augustine's not a very good what's the word, Augustine wasn't a
So
very
I'll
good
tell you why she's
antagonist.
not a good antagonist. The reason why is because she was trying so hard to make conduits, and the DOP needed. So she was trying to prolong the conduits. That's because she was trying to get Delson to understand that. But if you play First Light and you do that, if you're able to do that DLC, you'll find out she planned their escape.
Okay.
I think I remember that, yeah. Or the game had a DLC.
Yeah, that so Sucker Punch was never good at making DLCs because they do this stupid shit where they make you have to go to a website to like continue the story.
Oh wait,
Like
yeah,
you go to the
I haven't
first
done that
mission
yet.
and then you have to go on the website and like what the fuck? This is so stupid.
That is
I did
stupid.
all. I will say I did all the audio logs, and the audio logs literally told me the same thing, that she had planned the escape. She had done like an entire false flag just so she could justify to the public why the DEP was needed, and why her intentions might have been, why her intentions of like, I just want to protect conduits was okay. I understand. I understand that she wants to protect conduits, but I also understand that that they aren't that I also understand Delson's perspective and most other conduits perspective of, we want we'd rather be free and be killed than be confined in Cordon K, where you have to feed us clean us and wipe our asses for the rest of our lives.
Fuck us.
No, it's like you know, when Hank was talking about that, I was like, Jesus Christ, no wonder conduits want to escape. Like, Jesus, dude, that sounds like a horrible way to live. It's not living. It's not living.
So anyways, why was she a bad villain?
I think she was.
Well,
she
that's
was just
exactly it.
poorly.
Because she was trying to reason.
No, shut
with
up,
Nelson the
Bordelon,
whole
shut up,
time.
because you just keep
Fine,
explaining.
what do?
You just keep explaining her motives.
Well,
That's not
yeah,
explaining why he thinks it was a bad
I'm-
character.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think she's a bad. I don't think she's a bad antagonist in her motivations. I think she's a poorly written antagonist, and that it's not her being a bad guy. She's got a cool power. She's got the big ass trench coat, but aesthetically, she looks like a bad guy. And she's an antagonist, like visually speaking. I just don't think she was a very compelling antagonist, though. It was like we didn't see her for most of the game. The only I could see how they tried to make her a compelling antagonist, right? Was because she afflicted all of the Akomish with her concrete, right, and it would kill them. But we saw the Akomish twice in the entire game, at the start and at the end. And it's like it's like the only time the Akomish and Salmon Bay is mentioned is when Reggie keeps trying to take Delsin back, and and that kind of ruins Augustine as an antagonist for me personally, because we see the effects of her abilities and how she uses them at the beginning of the game, and then we don't see them until the end when Delsin fixes everything, right?
Yeah.
So we never get shots back to Salmon Bay about how everybody's doing. We never see any of that. We just know that people got concrete in their legs. We don't see how it's affecting people. We don't see if people are dying, or we don't see people die, which I'm not saying is necessary, but I'm also saying that the motivations behind why she's an antagonist for the player weren't too compelling. It's just she felt mediocre, right?
Yeah, she was like a stand-in, just like, you just gotta beat something. Here's a chick.
Okay, maybe I'll say this. For me, and I hate to make a Borderlands reference, but she was
really pushing the LGBT.
No, stop. She felt like the Calypso twins.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. The way you described it, like, yeah, that sounds like Borderlands 3.
She felt like the Calypso twins, but instead it was every bad part of them, right? The Calypso twins, they had their moments where we're like, oh, I really fucking hate these people, right? Because because Borderlands, I'll make it quick, but Borderlands sets it up that like, oh, your character's the shit, and then you've got characters saying, oh, you're not the shit, right? So then you're like, oh, it's Borderlands, I'm gonna be the shit. So the Calypso twins had their moments. Augustine, but then they had their really bad moments. Augustine seemed to be an amalgamation of their bad moments. And again, her motivations, while good intentions, she's killed she's killed so many conduits just to convince the government that the DUP is what they need. And then to top it off, she's like, I'm trying to protect conduits. But then you hear how her own men talk about conduits, and it's like, well, cool, that's good for, like, she's like, I want the DUP exists to protect the public from conduits, but it also serves to protect conduits from the public. And then but the people who are within the DUP hate conduits and want to murder them. It's kind of like, it's the DUP, it wanted to protect people, but then the people who work for the DUP just want to eradicate the conduits. So it's like, in a way, the DUP is no different from in a way the DUP is no different from the military in that regard. The powers were cool, gameplay was interesting. There were quite a couple there were honestly quite a couple of moments where I got really frustrated with the draining, right? Because I unlocked every skill minus the evil karma ones, and you can increase the speed at which you drain your abilities, right? So if you're using fetches powers, you drain the neon colors from like signage, right? If you're using Eugene's, you drain the images out of TVs, and if you're using Hank's, you just drain smoke. the only, but the even you could unlock a skill where you could increase the speed at which you drained those things. And at first it was like, oh, this is a lot faster now. But then I started getting into boss fights, mostly either the fights with Augustine, and I realized that draining draining the powers from the environment always took way too long, because the boss's attacks were usually faster, and it would just cancel it out. It would just cancel the whole thing out. So on the first boss fight with Augustine, the one where Reggie dies, I was getting frustrated because I need smoke to hit her, to break her little barrier, and I would do it and it just wouldn't work, right? Some random dude would just fucking shoot me with one bullet, and then it would cancel the whole thing out. So that was very frustrating at times. Overall, it's a fun game. Story is honestly
Mid.
is okay. It's not mid. It's okay. It's okay. I don't.
Well,
Reggie's
that's what
death,
mid is.
Reggie's death could have meant a lot more, honestly. Reggie's death honestly could have meant more, because at the end, if you get the good karma ending, the assumption is that you as the player honored Reggie's memory. So Delson makes a big ass mural for Reggie on top of the sawmill. And that was something where I was like, damn, dude, right? Reggie's death had an actual tangible effect on Delson. And even though Delson, for what we can assume to be years before the game even started, kind of resented Reggie to some extent, or their relationship wasn't great, at the end of it, he still loved his older brother, right? And his older brother still loved him. But like that, it's just, but that only really comes into the scope of things when Reggie dies. So I'm just like, his death was, I must have been horrible for Delson, but as the player, I wasn't too invested in Reggie as a character, so his death didn't really affect me that much. So yeah, it's 7 out of 10.
You not playing the evil karma kind of like you missed out on a really sad ending because it's so fucked
Oh
up when he does it again.
I know what happens. Like it's
Oh,
I know
then
about the
mention
evil
it.
karma ending. Okay, I'll talk about the evil karma ending. Evil karma ending. I don't know the extent of the missions behind the evil karma ending, but essentially, at the end you get the option for the game. The last mission you get to choose depending on your karma. You could choose to expose Augustine for what she's been doing, or you can kill her as recompense for Reggie. Evil karma ending, you kill Augustine, and then Delson is like on his power trip, and he's he got lost in the sauce basically, and he's going, and because he's basically a vessel or a reciprocal, or not not reciprocal, a receptacle for conduit powers. He's like, I'm gonna open the doors of Curtin K and I'm gonna shake all their hands, right? So he wants to amass a large sum of powers so he can rule Seattle. And then he goes back to the Akomish. Betty comes out and she's like, we saw everything. We saw you murder all those innocent people when you didn't have to. And Delson's excuse to her is the motto that is first said at the start of the game, that we're a Comish, we protect our own, right? And she's like, and she basically says, you're not one of us anymore. You've disgraced us, you disgraced our ancestors. This is not anything, this is not something the Akomish stand for. So and then basically it's implied he murders his entire tribe because they don't accept the kind of person he's become.
Pretty cool.
It's pretty fucking metal, if you ask me. It's pretty fucking metal.
It's pretty
I don't
punk
know
rock
about
of him,
you,
yeah.
but yeah, dude, I loved going away from the story. I really enjoyed the aesthetics of the game. I think Sucker Punch's rendition of like a 2014 Seattle was really neat, was really cool. The game's visually stunning. It looks really good.
Easter eggs?
even on the PS5, I didn't see any Easter eggs.
Really, you didn't even see the Sly Cooper one?
No, I don't think so.
They give like a while back when they first released the game, there was actually a DLC that you could just access. You didn't have to go on a website for it, but you only get to play it if you pre-ordered the game, which was and they never released it for like later on, where you could
Mhm.
play with Zeke as a character.
I never played Sly Cooper.
Okay, hold on.
Wait, I
Zeke
remember
is
Sly.
infamous original.
I don't remember.
He's a fat dude with a revolver, and he knew Cole McGrath, who was the original Conduit, the one you play as in Infamous 1 and 2.
He's a bald, not bald, but like short-haired blonde man, right? Cole.
No, Cole, yeah, that's who he is. Well, I mean, he's just completely shaved. He's not blonde. And you get to wear his jacket from Infamous 1 instead of that's sleeveless. Which, by the way, I don't think I told you guys this.
I never figured out how to put all the coats on, so
I made a sleeveless denim jacket with the evil karma logo on it.
that's really cool.
That would show us a picture of you wearing it.
When I have time.
The picture you have to be naked as well.
Yeah, we'll make that the
Um,
profile
Just
banner.
wearing that.
We'll make that the YouTube banner in the background where it's just you flexing with that on.
Yeah, no, you need to be naked for it.
Yeah, you have to only be wearing that, and your penis has to be falling out.
You need to be doing the thug
Falling out.
shake.
You have to do the thug
Falling
shaker
out?
right after. Yeah, falling out.
What do you mean falling out?
Because you wrap it up, dude. You tape it up, don't you? Give yourself your mangina.
But yeah, still overall, Infamous Second Son, a
Whatever.
solid 7 out of 10. Definitely a cool power fantasy if that's your thing, I guess. Would I play it again? Like go out of my way to do it? No. No.
Yep.
And then on to Bloodborne, and maybe by next episode I'll have a review of Final Fantasy 16 as well.
Final
What was
Fantasy
your best
16.
combo, would you say?
Hmm?
Your best combo?
Oh, in Final Fantasy 16,
What? No, I'm talking about Infamous. Did you
there's
power
combos
combo?
to do. No, I
Yes,
never
you
really
didn't
did.
know. That's all.
You
The
can't- you
original
can't
Infamous.
You
Yes, you
can't.
can.
I couldn't switch between the powers fucking at will. I had to actually find like a way to get to them. So like I
Not,
could
not like that. No, just with the. All right, so you could have done like you do a non-lethal smoke grenade and then you rocket them, like the combos.
Oh well, so basically to get my good karma as high as possible, as fast as possible, I basically went non-lethal for basically the entire game.
Right.
In most instances I didn't kill DUP. I basically what I would use is I use that smoke grenade to make them cough. And I got there's a skill that you can unlock where the sphere of smoke that it creates can be bigger, and it makes them it stuns them for a while longer. So what I would do is I'd use that and I just run through and press triangle on everybody and just subdue all of them. So most of the time I would be subduing people. Same deal with Fetch's powers. There were a couple times where I obliterated people by shooting them in the head, but most of the time I just aim for the legs and I incapacitate them with that as well.
You just broke their hips.
So
You just made them bedridden for the rest of their lives.
maybe a couple dudes, but yeah. So honestly though, the melee combat was like the worst part of that fucking game. It was
Pretty good.
no, I didn't think it was good. I thought it was really bad, honestly.
You didn't think the laser sword was cool?
The laser sword was neat. I liked Eugene's thing, but that's because it was a 2-hit, right? But really beyond that, no, I was not a fan of I was really not a fan of the melee combat. I guess it was like one of those times when, um, I attribute it to being one of those times where melee combat wasn't as like
Polished.
wasn't as polished, and it also wasn't it was very, I I think the proper word is rudimentary.
Generic.
It wasn't. Yeah, at the time of that game coming out, you didn't really complex, combat systems with like combos that you could do, for example, never were totally much of a thing, other than like Devil May Cry. But Devil May Cry was basically a dead franchise at the time, right?
Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
I haven't played Dragon's Dogma, so
no,
like,
so these are slashers.
So I mean, granted, yeah, but basically the melee combat, the melee combat was basically just pressing square 3 times, and 3 times the person would die. And then when it came to Eugene's melee, it was twice and they died. That was literally it. That was literally all it was.
Some Skyrim ass combat,
which isn't a bad thing. It's not a totally bad thing, right? Because then that allowed the diverse set of abilities that you could use to shine a lot more. So you would like using the Eugene's power to turn invisible was really cool, and you could subdue people or kill them like that. But the mainstay, combat was not good. It wasn't great at all. But again, game solid 7 out of 10.
Talking about the melee, but okay. I guess I never make sense to you guys. I get it. I don't speak English.
It's not that you don't
We're-
make sense,
we're about-
Bordelon. It's that you have bad taste. That's it.
I
That's
literally
all.
explained it. I literally said when you combine the abilities of your one power.
Well, yeah. See, I did that a lot, but I didn't use it to like kill dudes. I mostly used it to subdue them.
You could do that, yeah. That's fine. I asked what was your best one.
Oh, like probably Fetch's stuff. Her stuff was really good at subduing guys. Eugene's was cool and all, like going invisible, but that was really about it. Fetch stuff was really good at subduing them. Though, dude, oh my god, the fucking like big ass dudes covered in concrete were such horse shit, bro. It's like, I'm trying to think of what game this was an issue in. And I can't seem to remember. It was a game I recently played, but basically these dudes, they would run at you, and they would run at you, but they'd essentially lock on to you, right? So it didn't matter what direction you ran, they would defy physics and just fly at you and punch you off your feet.
Just
It
turn
was
on a dime.
crazy, bro. Yeah, dude, it's like you couldn't, like, with these heavies, sometimes you have to fight 2 by yourself, right? And it was just a matter, for me, I was forced to basically run away from these guys until I could find, like, I could get more, I could drain more of whatever ability I was using to get like the cinder something, and so forth, those heavier R2 attacks, because it would down them in like 2 or 3. But if you got close to them, it didn't matter. You could go in, swing once, and they would drop whatever they were doing and instantly just uppercut you, right, and just send you back 20 feet. And then they would go from having dropped like their big ass minigun, for like GTA minigun that they had. They would smack you, and then they'd instantly start shooting you out of the air.
Nice.
So and when you're ragdolled, you can't do anything. So you just have to take it. You just have to hope that you hold out.
Just
So
take
there
it
were
like a good little slut that you are.
Because I did every district showdown in the game. So this happened to me so fucking much. And each district took me, I shit you not, like 5 hours. It was insane, but it was fun. So yeah, that's my review of Infamous. It's not as bad as you told me it would be, Milk, but it's also not as great as you told me it would be.
I did not say it was bad. I said that From
You
what I
did?
remember, no, from what I remember was that
You
it
said
was.
that was bad.
I said it was mid, one, and two. I said I remember the most that the map wasn't that big. Now, was I wrong on that, Argus? Was the map very big or very small?
I can't. Crossing one district from like the longest, from like the furthest to the next furthest of that like part of, because the islands, the map is basically separated into two islands, kind of how San Francisco is, right? You've got one, like you go across the Golden Gate and you go across the Golden Gate and you're in an entirely different area. Then you go back across, you're back in San Francisco, right? Or I guess more like San Francisco to Oakland. Um, no, yeah, the map wasn't terribly large, but in terms of the scale, they did a pretty good job making it feel big, because this also in the age of the PS4, and in modern standards, the PS4 isn't crazy amazing anymore,
What are you talking
like
about?
it was back in, dude. Honest,
PS4?
Yeah, PS4.
I thought this was a PlayStation 3 game.
No, it's a PS4 game.
Nah, that makes it even worse now. What the fuck? Yeah, fuck this game.
See, that's the issue, right? The PS4 came out in a time, and I'm not speaking as like an industry expert. I'm just saying from what I'm remembering. When the PS4 came out, the PlayStation were still beat out by the Xbox, like marginally so, right? Like I remember dudes would like PS4 came out. I remember watching Ali A play Black Ops 3, and he was getting 30 FPS on Black Ops 3 on a PlayStation 4, right? And then you could get 60 on an Xbox, on the Xbox One. So this was a time where Xbox was still beating out the PlayStation 4 in
certain
in
titles,
performance, in a lot of titles in terms of performance. And so they were, PlayStation's always been like severely limited in what they can do in terms of scale and scope of games. Like, remember the original Resident Evil games, bro? Like the PlayStation 4 was not
which
very,
ones?
the original one,
Oh,
ones, like
the fucking old ass PlayStation
yeah,
1.
the low poly ones, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and how the studio who was making Resident Evil at the time, they were like, we want to make the games look better, but the PlayStation holds it back. Like at the time, the PlayStation was holding back those like OG Resident Evil games. But now we're at a time where the the Xbox, where the PlayStations are doing better performance wise than the Xbox. Because I don't know who designed the new Xbox.
Well, I would
Series,
say
whatever
it's
the fuck.
mostly just developers when they're making their game, like when it's gonna be like Xbox exclusive, especially. But even if it's not, like if they're like a Microsoft owned company, they're gonna make it for the Xbox first of all, and then they'll port it over to like the PlayStation. That's probably why
Yeah.
a lot of games sucked balls. But on PlayStation 4, that was honestly, I would say, was probably better. At least the PS4 Pro was definitely better than the
Yeah,
Xbox.
I heard the PS4 Pro was good, but like the PlayStation 5 is probably in my opinion, as mostly a recent owner of the console, it's like Sony's biggest breakthrough in actually beating out Microsoft in the performance of their
Beating off?
consoles.
Mm-hmm,
Beating out.
Yeah, beating out.
Not
Yeah, because
beating
they've
out.
always been sort of
Come on,
neck and neck.
bro, just because you can't
Well,
say it right.
yeah, and it's always been Xbox kind of pulling ahead, right? Because the PlayStation, like we all know the jokes of when you turn your PlayStation 4 on to play the new 2K, that shit sounds like a fucking fighter jet starting up,
Oh,
right?
I was
dude.
like a fighter jet beating off.
Me on Ghost of
like-
Tsushima. When I
like-
open it fucking blares like a hot engine.
Like, oh my god, dude, this console fucking crushes Ghost of Tsushima.
Damn, dude, I'm jealous.
I'll give my review of Ghost of Tsushima when I finish it. It's amazing. Final Fantasy 16 is also incredible.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with the PlayStation 5 though. They're actually prone to failing. They break kind of easily. You gotta take care of it.
I've got it in a safe spot where it's on something it's not gonna fall off of.
No, I mean like if it gets like some dust in it, like too much dust, it'll start fucking malfunctioning.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Same with like the liquid mercury they use to cool the CPU.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's liquid. It's not liquid mercury, but liquid metal.
Wonderful.
I don't know what type of metal, but they use that to cool the CPU.
Yeah, I'll have to look up how to clean. I've only had it since I don't know mid-July, so I should probably it's probably due for cleaning. But now at this point, I'm just kind of cleaning. I'm just kind of using it on and off. But I'll be sure to clean it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people like turn in their PlayStation 5s for repairs and shit because they just break so easily.
I'm just gonna be straight. I think it's mostly the reason that the PlayStation, because you're talking about like, oh, it's prone to getting damaged by dust and stuff. I think it's just because fucking gamers, we don't know how to clean our shit.
That is
we don't
true.
Know how to we don't know how to clean our shit, right? Or we don't know when is an appropriate time to clean it. So we get into this thing of like
Once a month.
you know, yeah, it's like it's better to clean it too often than clean it not often enough. If you think you should clean it, fucking clean it.
To all of you listening, clean your PC once a month.
Yeah, for real. If you like open it up and you're like, oh, it looks fine. I don't need to clean it. Boom, easy mode. Yeah, sure, you went on a PC, you might just gone through the effort of unplugging everything, taking it to the place, but at least you know it's clean. So I'll probably find the time to clean it. I'm not even gonna hold you. I bought this console on just a total whim because Final Fantasy 16 was out and I felt left out. And
Same.
I had mad FOMO. I'm not gonna lie, I had mad FOMO, fear of missing out.
I should have bought it when it came out. I did not.
No, so you know what? I just found out PlayStation literally basically a month, basically like 3-4 weeks after I bought the PlayStation 5, Sony hinted that they're releasing the Pro.
Oh, that's what I've been waiting for.
So wait on the Pro. But like the stuff that they're advertising for the Pro, honestly, are a lot of gimmicks I don't care about. Mostly like new stuff pertaining to like, oh, you'll be able to play 8K 30 frames per second, and I'm like who
I
is
don't
playing?
I don't have a 8K TV.
I play on my monitor. I play on my monitor. I just switch the input and play on my monitor. So I don't need that. I don't do 8K. I don't do 120 FPS. Mostly because for whatever reason, even though this is a 24 hertz display or a 240 hertz display, the PlayStation's like, no, you just can't do it. And I'm like, okay, fuck you.
Yeah, I honestly I can't see past 70, like 76, right? Or those 75 hertz monitors. Once it goes past that, I can't see a difference at all.
I can't see past color.
yes, you can. You see color all the time.
You should wait. I think you should wait on the PS5 Pro, but also just recognize that some of the stuff in the quirks and features of the console are probably not gonna be something you'll use.
No, yeah.
Because a lot of it sounds really fucking gimmicky. Like the 8K, they're saying they'll be high performance on games, but
that's all I care about.
Yeah, I mean, though, like, for you might like, I don't know, fucking Final Fantasy 16 runs at like 30 frames, I think. But I think that's what they wanted it to run at.
Yeah, I can't believe that that's actually a fucking target FPS in the modern day.
Honestly, in spite of that, the game's fucking incredible. The game is absolutely incredible.
I can't go back to 30 FPS, dude.
Though I'm not even gonna hold you for the never play Arma again. Dude,
real.
It's actually crazy, bro. For like my first, like, I don't know, 20 hours of Ghost of Tsushima, I was playing the game. Everything was washed out. The game was so fucking washed out on my monitor, and I couldn't figure out why. And then I went down and found like the full RGB setting, and I looked into it, and everywhere I went, it was like PlayStation saying, "No, you don't need this. You shouldn't turn it on." And then I turned it on, and and it wasn't washed out anymore. So like, I don't know. I missed out on some of like the fucking like incredible beauty of Ghost of Tsushima because I was being told not to use a setting that my monitor needed to give me the proper fucking color display that I get on a regular fucking basis.
Dude, good colors can make a ginormous difference in the way a game
such
looks.
they make such a big difference, dude. They make such a big difference.
Like when I see like Skyrim, right, without any like mods like changing the colors or anything, it looks so gray. It's like, why is this even like how it is normally? It's so fucking
Skyrim
ugly
is
looking.
So fucking it's really fucking that good.
Yeah, I installed it. I just have a regular old reshade. Oh yeah, I didn't even use ENV. I use the reshade just to change the colors, and it looks beautiful now. But I have a shit ton of mods as well, so you know.
Yeah.
I have like almost 100 mods now.
You sacrifice some things to get the things you want.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking forward to playing Final Fantasy 16, then maybe I shouldn't talk about it just yet. Once I finish,
I probably won't be playing it.
Okay. It's a really fucking good game. I've got 32 hours in it. I've got 30 fucking hours in it. And I'm only 74% of the way through the main story.
Do you have sex? Do you have sex in it?
No, so far there's no sex mode or sex activities.
There's no sex mini game.
Yeah. Though I want to go on record saying Tarya is fine as fuck. I want that scar all up in my face.
I got my eyes on Sid. He's about to get it real fucking hard.
Sid, bro. You'll know.
Final Fantasy. I don't know why you're asking that.
What's that beat? I'm fairly certain we've all beat off to Tifa at some point.
Oh yeah, dude.
Just literally every man.
Every red-blooded American
or in our age range has beat it to fucking
to Tifa, Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, at some point.
With her cool triangle nips, her cool triangle boobs.
Cool triangle.
Hell yeah, dude. Did you guys ever play the old Final Fantasy VII?
No, I haven't.
I played a little bit of it, but I never beat it.
Honestly, Final, in my opinion. And this is someone who hasn't played Final Fantasy before playing 16. But I will say that Final Fantasy 16 is probably one of the best games for people who haven't played. It's, in my opinion, one of the best to get into as someone who's never played it. Because I will say the turn-based system that the older Final Fantasies use has something that's always put me off.
No, I like it.
I've never liked the turn-based system in the others, which Final Fantasy 16 does not have. So
yeah, Final Fantasy 15 didn't have that either.
It didn't? Oh no, it didn't. But Final Fantasy 15 was just shit.
No, it wasn't shit. It was alright. It was mid. it was a 7 out of 10 game.
Honestly, I think I'm part of the crowd that the game's development was sabotaged.
Yeah, they really remade it like twice or something, right?
Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Final Fantasy 11, and then they scrapped it, and then they redid it, and then they had to do it all over again.
All I know is that the Square Enix team that worked on Final Fantasy 15, they moved offices midway through development, and it completely destroyed the flow of development. Like they couldn't develop it after that.
Yeah, for Final Fantasy 15, I just felt like halfway through, like they just like were like, fuck it, here's just the rest of the story, and you can't do anything else.
Yeah. But no, I've heard Final Fantasy 16. It's amazing so far, in my opinion. The combat feels fucking awesome. Yeah, the combat feels awesome. Story's been super fucking interesting so far. I played through a decent portion of it with the producer, quote unquote producer, who's just my brother.
It's co-op?
No, it's not co-op. But I have a headphone splitter, so.
Oh, you guys! He was sitting on your lap.
No, he was sitting behind me watching.
Oh, you were sitting on his lap. Okay.
No, so for the first 16 hours of the game, he was watching me, but then I started playing by myself. It's super. It's super fucking good. The boss fights are amazing. This is for another episode. This is for another episode after I beat the game.
Yeah, your brother was. You were sitting on your brother's lap and he was kissing your
No,
neck and
no,
stuff
no,
while
no,
you were
no,
playing,
no, no,
right?
no, 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 no.
Yes, yes.
Do we have any other topic? Oh, do we have any topics other than what I have?
I don't.
Little
Oh,
Tay
you were
dead,
little
14,
little
fake
Tay
nose.
dead.
It's fake.
Yeah, yeah. She was supposed to be dead. Supposedly her dad punched her so hard her head fell off. Her and her brother.
Now somebody just
But
fucking.
it was a hoax.
Somebody just fucking hacked her Instagram and posted that out, and because her family's background is so fucking like private.
Yeah, she's like.
Everyone just believed it.
Well, there is genuinely like she is like getting like abused supposedly, or there's
Oh,
like
really?
there's like a custody battle because her
Oh,
parents are
interesting.
divorced. They're trying to like both take her away, and her and her brother are like begging for help or so or whatever.
I mean,
Like a while
I
ago,
feel-
I think this was a while ago.
I'm about to say I feel bad for him, but how can you ask the internet for help in a custody battle between your parents?
Well,
what the-
if they're both
what the
abusing
fuck?
you, you might be better off going to like an
Well, I
aunt
mean-
or something.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I'm also like, if like, what the fuck the internet gonna do?
They're gonna dox her. They're gonna dox him, I guess. But
They're gonna kill her family. Oh,
I mean,
man,
she is a
yeah.
kid as well. She's a child, so she's
she's
stupid.
14, so it's like,
They're still stupid.
well, no, I know. I'm saying though she's four. I'm saying though she's 14, right? So she
She's
doesn't
playing
get much of
Fortnite and shit.
Fortnite. She doesn't get much of a choice in the matter just yet.
But anyways, also you said that Larian Studios was being sued. That's a complete false lie.
Complete hoax. From what I found out minutes later, it was a complete hoax. Though I will say, somebody could call this bad faith, but I will say, I would not put it past these 4 companies to do that, though.
Me
I
neither.
would not put it past them. EA, greedy as fuck. Activision, can't seem to listen to their damn community. Blizzard, need I say more? Ubisoft, do I need to say anything?
Yeah, Blizzard's
Say
gonna
more.
rape Larian Studios. They're gonna
Blizzard-
break in and rape people.
Blizzard, Overwatch 2. Ubisoft, I really don't need to say anything after their Elden Ring take. Have y'all actually looked at Overwatch 2's fucking reviews on Steam?
No, what happened?
It is sitting at an overwhelmingly negative, with guess how many negative reviews?
How much?
108,000.
That's amazing.
Almost over 100,000 people now have taken up the noble task of review bombing this game.
Good, they
into
deserve it.
oblivion. They do.
I can't believe they just re-released Overwatch and then just made it worse. It's like they removed so
fully
much
agree.
that made it good.
No, it's Overwatch 2 is just a repackaged version of Overwatch 1 with promises of new content, and then halfway into the game's first couple months of being out, Blizzard comes out and tells us that that campaign that we teased, that's gonna be like the story-based fucking co-op experience. It's not happening anymore.
They got rid of McCready's fucking sticky grenade. They made it into they made it into a sticky grenade. They got rid of the concussion grenade, and it basically made him not good anymore.
I am just bad. Like, it is. Overwatch 2 is probably one of the worst examples of a game company thinking that we're like the consumers are literally just brain dead children.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. They thought that their community
They were so busy. All the developers were so busy sexually assaulting other workers, and then
Yeah,
they made the bad game, made a bad game to distract
yeah.
us from it.
What do they call? What do they call McCree now? What do they call Cassidy? They call him
Yeah, they
Cassidy
call him
now.
Cassidy because
Um,
some guy named McCree
because
was raping
because the
people.
guy, yeah, the guy who it's named after was a fucking creep. Which by the way, people I thought was very interesting. People that was like when the game came out, people were like, I can't believe they fucking got rid of the name McCree, and I'm like, he'll always be McCree, and I'm like, I was always like, I just want you to be aware that the person who Cassidy was initially named after is a fucking weirdo. like, just accept, just be like, he's a fucking weirdo and move on.
I thought it was the same
Like,
voice actor. I thought it was just because some guy who worked at
yeah, no,
Blizzard
same
was
voice
called
actor.
what? No, yeah. The voice actor did do nothing, by the way.
No,
People
he did
listening,
nothing.
it was
The
just some
voice,
guy who worked at Blizzard,
I'm fairly certain the voice
and they
actor was
named it
one of the
after him.
biggest. I'm fairly certain Cassidy's voice actor was one of the biggest and one of the first people within the company to suggest the name change.
Yeah.
I think that's a rumor.
I will say though that by them changing the name, it just brought more attention to it because I didn't know why his name was changed until someone described that it was because some guy raped somebody.
I think it's I personally think it was something that needed to happen. I think it was necessary to happen.
I don't think it was necessary. I thought it was whatever. A name is a name. It
I
doesn't really matter.
I don't think I agree. It's just a name. I think though optically they had to, because at some point, somebody would come at them after them for it.
But yeah,
But Blizzard,
I love McCree though.
the only good
Nothing
thing
bad.
that Blizzard has released since Overwatch 2 has been Diablo 4, and for whatever reason, people are mad about Diablo 4 being accessible to people.
I thought people were mad just because it felt less in scope compared to Diablo 3.
I don't
Like they expected to for it to be better or at least match Diablo 3, but they were like, nah, it's not as good as Diablo 3.
From what I heard, what was happening was because I've hardly explored this drama too much because I don't care.
Me neither.
I don't care. I don't care that much. I just kind of I'm curious. That's mostly it. Apparently, the reason people didn't like it was something to do with, I guess, the Diablo, like the diehard Diablo community, and I'm talking dudes that have been playing the game, the series, since fucking since fucking the first game. A lot of them were mad because they were like, this is a game for normies, right? This is not a Diablo game. This is like a repacket. This is like Diablo, but they took away everything that made Diablo cool and they made it more accessible to more people.
Oh, they made it less edgy.
Yeah, less edgy, or they made it more. I think what ultimately happened is they just made it more accessible for a broader group of people to play.
It sounds
right?
honestly, it sounds like an Oblivion versus Skyrim debate.
No,
basically.
the game is 100% still edgy. It is still so fucking edgy. Like, don't even get me started. It's still super duper edgy.
You know how people are like, oh, Oblivion's a million billion times better than Skyrim and shit, and then people are like, Skyrim is fun though, it's more accessible.
Yeah, Skyrim's a fun. Yeah, no, actually, no. I would say that it's a lot like the Oblivion versus Skyrim debate. It's, I just I've never understood completely why there are these diehard fans of these game series that don't want people to better easily dive into these games that they find curious and interesting. It's similar to the arguments surrounding the older Fallout games, right? If you know about that, where people make a Reddit post asking for help, and instead of somebody just telling them what they want to know, they tell them, go read this entire 800-page handbook. And it's like it's no wonder why some people don't want to play these games even though you tell them to. The games are not accessible to new people. They're not new user friendly. and then when they ask you for help, you don't help them. You
Yeah.
just simply tell them, go read it like the rest of us, go struggle like the rest of us did.
It's
Like,
honestly
that's
because
not,
people.
that's not the point.
I think it's because people mistake complexity for something that's good. It's like just because
Yeah.
something's more complex doesn't make it any better than something that's simplistic.
No, for real. I agree with that. Some people, complexity does not always mean good. Sometimes things can be complex when they don't need to be.
Yep.
And that can be a bad thing. No one's saying that complexity is in any fashion is bad, but they are saying that complexity can be detrimental to a game.
That's how I feel
And
whenever I see like a game with like a million different skill trees and shit. It's like we don't need this many.
No, yeah, people should be happy that more people are playing the games that they like, and they shouldn't chastise people because, oh, you didn't have to learn it like I did. It's like you should be happy. You should be happy, like, oh, you should be happy that more people are getting to play the game, and that developers went out of their way and had to make some kind of sacrifices in order to make the experience better for people
Yeah.
who are not veterans. Like, it's the same thing for me. Like, the reason people were mad when Spider-Man was coming to PC, right? It's like, oh, well, you should have just done it like me. You should have just forked over $500 for a PlayStation, gotten the game and played it
That
like me.
yeah, I saw that. That was so
Even
stupid.
even though you already have a PC that can play it and the game's coming out, no, they shouldn't do that. You should just get a whole other console that you'll probably never use again just to play this one game that you find interesting. You should be happy people are playing your games.
Basically, do what I did for Monster Hunter Rise, and then it came out on PC anyways.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I don't know. Sometimes for the Diablo thing, I'm not too invested in it. I know there's a lot of like Twitch streamers like Asmongold who are.
Me neither.
But
Asmongold plays Final Fantasy 14, so he is based now, even though he looks like a hamster. He's based. He looks like a hamster, don't you think? Asmongold? Looks like a hamster, like a little rat or something.
What you guys are talking about? I just zoned out at this point.
Yeah, let's bring up a topic for Bordelon. Bordelon, you were talking about interpretive art versus deceptive art, and
Yes.
I didn't understand what you meant. So please,
Yeah,
please
go
You
explain.
said something like you knew, like you're
Well,
just like, both are fucking-
I know what both those terms are, but I was wondering, what do you think those two things mean? Maybe
Okay,
maybe you
so-
meant to say something else.
Before we
An
start,
interpretive art.
oh,
It
yeah,
would
I was saying
be
divide
art that you just look at. Somebody just made it in their like their time they wanted to make art, so they made art, and you can interpret it as however you want. Deceptive
Okay.
art is shit you would. It's like a puzzle. It's a code.
Okay.
So, but like both of them challenge your mind a little. One makes you think more about what you want, and the other makes you think more about what the other person wants, which is better
Okay.
though.
Oh.
Not
Okay,
entirely. Yes, but also no.
Yeah, let's get two definitions. By the way, I'm sorry. I've been
Let's get my
dominating the
expert
conversation, so I'm gonna take a step back.
look at this beautiful art, finger unmasked. While I describe this for all the viewers, interpretive art.
totally
Yes, it is in fact art made to sort of try to make people to feel a certain emotion, or try to give some sort of meaning to it. But the artist himself does not tell you, nor does anybody else. You're supposed to figure out for yourself, right? Deceptive art, however, is more of a what's the best word for this? It's more of a way to make art, right? Like you can get like a bunch of shit and trash and piss and cum and whatever, and then you can make it in a certain way. So when you look at it from a certain angle, it looks like a face or like a horse or something. That's what deceptive art is.
Yes.
And to me, both of those are completely pretentious. Deceptive art
Oh,
probably.
yeah, that's what you said. You just said that they're both pretentious. I'm like, well, that's
Interpretive
like
art
the
is
two-
basically how people scam other a bunch of rich people, which all power to the artists for scamming these idiots who think that by like putting a dot on a canvas is somehow super meaningful and deep, even though the artist to himself probably thinks like, these people are so stupid. That's what I think is pretentious
I
about
wouldn't
it.
consider that art. That's worse than an AI drawing.
Deceptive art at least has some skill and thought to it, but it can also be pretentious because they also try to assign meaning to it, even if it's just something the guy thought was cool.
I was about to say, I don't know about either of y'all, but I think, how do I put this? I think oh god, how do I say this? I think intrinsically that art is kind of pretentious.
No.
All right, I guess
especially-
that settles it. Art sucks. Fuck you
Espe-
guys.
Fuck you!
No,
Fuck
especially
all of you that make art.
especially nowadays, right? It's just how I think like music it can be intrinsically pretentious as well, because like people sell art for like billions of dollars and it's like a picture of a fucking house, right?
Well,
Also,
artists will always know the meaning and the
Actually, no,
point
I
of
don't
their
agree with
artwork. It's
Art-
just that when they don't tell people, and then other people decide to assign meaning to it, that's when it starts getting real pretentious.
No, I think
The artist
art
always
is-
knows. If he doesn't know, he's not an artist. He's just a guy making shit up.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I agree with that more. Art, but also like art. Maybe art isn't intrinsically pretentious, like, like in and of itself. I think it's just art is pretentious when I don't really know. I lost my train of thought.
when they try to assign a deeper meaning or emotion to something that didn't
Yes,
even have it in the
yes.
first place. If you want to know the meaning of an art piece, ask the artist. He will know, and if he does, and if he just goes like, maybe that's for you to figure out, then you leave. Then you just walk away because he's an
Or
idiot.
it's like, well, I think art's pretentious for the same reason that music is pretentious.
Yeah, it's like if someone made a song, right? And then you
The
ask them about a
purist,
certain
that's it.
lyric, and then they're like, "That's for you to figure out." That's when you just walk away because he's an idiot. Because you're like, "This is dumb. This is a stupid conversation."
I think that
You can't enjoy things unless Milk says you can. This here.
I think the purists are what make it pretentious, which, this is the reason music, right? And as a humble listener of hip hop, I cannot begin to tell you how
Humble?
often I've been I'm not humble about it. I cannot begin to like describe to people the amount of times that I've been told that the music I like isn't legitimate music, right? And then I get all these like pretentious reasons why it's like, oh well, it doesn't have rhythm, it only has rhythm, it doesn't have melody, it doesn't have all these different like fucking like it doesn't have all these different undertones or all these different fucking components to it. And then people try to fit all music into these 4 fucking boxes, right?
Explain.
And
Give me an
I
example.
I hate to invoke him, but I guess it's fate because we all think his sister is hot and we want to feel up on her boobies. But Ben Shapiro,
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro, the girl, the brother of the lady who has the fat tits.
Yeah, the sister of the hot sister.
Yeah, he said he had made a point at one point that that hip hop is not legitimate music, and how there's 4 things. He's like there's 4 things to music, right? Melody, rhythm, and then like 2 other components. He said that and then he said that hip hop and rap only fits 1, and that's rhythm. And he said it's basically rhythmic speaking. People like that because it's obvious he's a purist, right? He thinks that music can only be fit into
Yeah,
these 4
it has to
boxes.
abide by music theory, basically trying to say.
Yeah, but he's like it has to fit into these 4 fucking boxes. But the problem is that most people who have spent most of their adult lives studying music do not know and understand that music cannot be categorized in 4 fucking ways. It
Yeah,
can be
music
categorized in
theory
so
is just a
many other
theory.
ways.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's
it's like
just
a
a theory.
it's like a guidebook, but it's not like set in stone. It's not
It's
rules.
not law. It's just a way that we can kind of compartmentalize it because of how complex music is throughout the world.
Like that dude Mac DeMarco, right? Some of
Uh-huh.
he's a musician. He like plays the guitar like in weird ways that are not technically supposed to work if you looked at it from like a music theory perspective, but they do work because he's just a fucking genius. at making
Yeah, no,
making
for
some.
real.
Well, not anymore, but back then he was.
There are saying Tyler the Creator as an example. I
There
don't
you
care what
go. I
people
heard
say.
him
Tyler the
rap
Creator's
about
fucking
sucking.
awesome.
I heard him rap about sucking penis. I thought it was hilarious.
Did he
Yeah,
really?
he's rapping about sucking cock, and then like he brought some other guy like listening, in with it, in with the
That's
rap,
sick. Oh
and he's like,
yeah.
"Whoa, what?"
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was on a fucking like radio show he went on. I remember seeing that.
yeah.
That shit was so funny. He was on Flex. He was with Flex from
Hmm.
that whatever the fuck.
The guy got very upset. He was like, "What the fuck?" Why? He's
Yeah,
like,
dude,
"Why'd
they
you
were looking
bring
for
me
some,
into this?"
dude. They were looking for some hot butt sex.
But yeah. But anyways, that's what interpretive deceptive art is.
No,
Bordelon.
we completely got sidetracked, and it was the most unsatisfying answer ever. Where it's just
Also,
art
you
just sucks.
you should understand that all that like money that's thrown at these artists, a lot of
I'm
it's
not
just
talking
being
about the
done.
dickheads that fucking put a block, like a small block, on a canvas and say, "There it is."
Well, that's where
No,
I
I'm
usually
talking about
see
like actual
interpretive and
drawing, like
deceptive art.
Thomas Kincaid.
Thomas Kincaid. That sounds
Yes,
familiar.
have you heard about him?
Let me look him up.
He's
I
even
think
made
I've heard that
portraits for
before as well.
Disney. Yes, that's I would say that's interpretive, and he's even made deceptive art, where he would make like little puzzles where it's like, "Can you spot this? This is a reference to Disney, Walt Disney himself." Like he
Oh,
will make
whoa.
shit like that, and even like little cottage houses. Yes,
This is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah. My
Oh, he
parents used
made
to
the
collect his
fucking
art.
cover for Brave, bro. That's sick.
Well, anyways,
Yes,
when
that's
I
art. You know, whatever the fuck was going
Yeah,
on.
well, I
no, I
just
don't know.
assumed you were
Yeah, this is
talking about
art.
like the galleries where
No,
they have
I
a bunch of
know what's
retarded,
art.
stupid shit.
Man, I don't know. I just think art is like if it's cool, it can be art. Art isn't just pictures, man.
Yeah, but
Like
I agree.
like
Not
watch
all
me make a
modern art
poster
is
here.
terrible.
No, I think the fucking I think the fucking goofies that say, "Oh, well, modern art is so ugly," and blah blah blah. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Just like
Well, listen.
artists, young artists have their fucking
The reason
their
modern
moment, bro.
the reason modern art gets shit on is because it's very obviously used so people cannot pay their taxes. Art is a tax write off in America. If you buy like a painting for like $3 million, it's like an investment. One, you don't pay your taxes, and two, you can resell it for double later on. That's why people don't like it. But they don't shit on the artist for doing it. They just shit on the people who are stupid enough to do it.
Well, I mean, and like there's I guess there's some examples of modern art, I suppose. Like there's a piece called that I literally just googled because I remembered it. A piece called like "Can't Help Myself," right?
It's a guy pooping.
No, it's a robot it's a robot. It's been going doing the same thing for like since like 2019, right? Or 2016. So theoretically it is in the scope of modern art, right? And like modern art's pretty like there's some interesting things like this is a robot. Basically it sweeps the ground, and essentially though the intent is that the robot eventually is going to stop, right? And it's just at this point it's just sweeping up its own oil, right, as the oil leaks out of it.
It's kind of sexy,
and
actually.
but the thing is too is that the robot, because it's lost all this oil, now its gears and shit are like screeching against each other, right? Some people say that it's as if it's screaming, right, for help. And it's just gonna go until it dies. Like,
There's some dumb, stupid hippie chick, right, as well, going
Well,
like, "This
and-
is like about black people in the
and here's the other
ghettos."
thing. Stop. And here's the most ultimate thing for me when it comes to modern art and why people hate it. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's somehow stupid modern art and it's fucking garbage.
I'll say most
Like,
artists
just-
hate the people who are just super pretentious about liking it. We hate
No,
those
for real,
people.
for real.
We don't hate the artists. We don't even hate the art. We just hate those people that make it into
most
something it's not.
most reasonable artists
Gone.
know that they're not God, and that they are not God of art, that they just make art like anybody else.
Yeah, Goku's God, first of all, but
The fuck I was thinking we could have like a normal fucking conversation for once.
What would
It's like the
what would
least
you think if
unhinged fucking
Argus, I got a good
Stupid,
scenario
you
for
fucking
you.
redhead, and after this,
Okay, give me the scenario.
I got a great scenario for you. Let's say you drew your fucking best fan art of Goku, and then some people walked into your house, like, that's a very interesting young black man, young African
I'd
American.
say, who are you? Who are you? How'd you get in my house?
Does this signify how you feel on the inside compared to the tyrannical government around
Oh
you?
my fucking
so stupid.
once again, I will once again say this to the viewers. Black people are more than our fucking collective trauma. We are more than just fucking woke. Stop thinking everything we fucking
No, it's
do
Is in response to it?
is in response to it, is because we're trying to be woke, or is because we're trying to be fucking victims. It's not, dude.
But what would you do if the woman did that?
Dude, I have said this in so many fucking episodes, but I'll say it again. Literally, it's gotten to a point where if you just exist and you're black, you're woke. It's woke. Me just being born is woke. I swear. I'm surprised people aren't being like, you had a baby with a black guy? You're so woke. What?
That's pretty crazy.
Dude, the fucking anti-woke shit has gone so fucking far off the deep end. It's crazy, bro.
But yeah, anyways, the
but,
woman
like,
says this to you, looking at your Goku fan art. What do you say? What do you say in return?
I'm saying, I'm gonna ask, who are you and how'd you get in my house?
I want to buy it from you, young African American child.
How
Yeah,
much?
they're gonna keep saying real American child.
I'm going to
No,
give you
it's-
$30.
$30, nah, more.
3,000.
More.
300.
about
If you
$30
think
and several
you
food
went
stamps?
down, if you think it's that incredible, I want a decent.
How about
bid for
$30
it.
and several food stamps?
Two
I'm not on food stamps. I live in
2
the
million, 2
suburbs.
million, 2 million.
2 million.
2
How
million
about
food stamps.
say listen? How about this? How about 5 million and we'll cut it and we'll call it a deal.
Okay, 5 million.
And I don't want it in Monopoly money. I'm not that dumb.
No, this is real. This is a real check. It won't bounce, I swear. Do you give her your Goku fan art?
After she gives me the money.
She gives you the check, and then you cash it in. 2 days
After
later,
the-
2
after
days
the
later,
check.
you see that she's selling it for $10 million.
Fucking bitch.
Capitalism.
Bro, yeah, capitalism, bro.
There you go. You failed. You failed the scenario, dude. You were supposed to stab her like Goku
We'll
would.
see. In my defense, I didn't want to sound like the greedy guy. I didn't want to sound like the one.
You just asked for. You just talked from $30 to 5 million.
Who comes into somebody who was like, this art is so incredible, so interesting, and just fucking goes $30. Nobody fucking does that. What kind of fucking bid is that?
Broke into my house just to offer me
What kind
$30.
of
I don't know
answer
what
me,
to
bro?
do about
What
that.
kind of fucking bid is that? Like, I want your art, $30.
The reality
Actually,
is, it didn't matter how much you were gonna say. I was gonna double it.
Y'all remember that?
Double it, fucker.
Y'all remember that girl I used to hook up with? She actually gave me an easel that she painted, and I kept it because it reminds
Sold
me
it
of.
on Etsy.
No, I keep it because it reminds me of a scene from Ghost of Tsushima. It looks pretty
Oh
good.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's her
it's cherry
naked.
blossom trees.
She drew
Huh?
herself naked on there.
No, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? No, tell me. What are you like?
That's what
explain
happened in
it to
Ghost of
me like a
Tsushima, dude.
child.
Dude, I'm
No,
not even gonna
explain
lie.
it to me.
That happens in Ghost of Tsushima, dude.
Yeah, okay, then explain it to me like I'm a child.
What happens in Ghost of Tsushima? What's the guy's name again? Fucking Jin. Yeah, Jin.
Jin Sakai.
It's that scene where Jin gets butt naked and walks into the hot spring. Don't you remember that? And you see his ass
that-
cheeks.
I do remember that.
Dude, that,
What I said was cherry blossom trees, not hot spring. So I don't know where you were getting that from.
There is a cherry blossom tree with a hot spring next to it.
Not
Aren't all of them next to cherry blossoms?
No, they're not next to cherry blossoms. They're next to some tree though that's got like red fucking leaves or something.
Oh, that's right. But anyways, she drew her in that pose, right? With her ass showing. Is that what happened?
It's just the trees, motherfucker.
Dude,
You thought I couldn't fucking equate it to Ghost of Tsushima, did you, bitch? And I pulled it right out of my ass the last second.
Yeah, no, you pull everything out your ass. All your jokes, it's something, and they never make sense because you have to actually explain them.
Dude, I did the whole fucking quest line for getting, the Sakai clan armor. Mostly, just to make, and the stuff with Yuriko, bro. There were a couple points where I was like, "This is weird."
I cried.
This is a little weird. Really, you did?
Yeah, it was sad.
I thought you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima.
What do you mean? I played the whole thing.
Oh, okay. What was it?
He said he played that.
I played it.
He never said he played Infamous.
I played it twice.
Sacrifice.
I did play
You're
Infamous.
right,
I just said I don't remember it.
You're right. You cry. That's interesting. You cry. I
I
was mostly I was mostly waiting in my playthrough so far. I was just waiting for when we retake Castle Shimura, and
Oh, dude.
and Jin finally embraces the ghost thing.
Embraces his cum.
No, embraces like
God damn it, Milk! I swear to God.
Mostly for when fucking Lord fucking Shimura, he sent all those soldiers across the fucking bridge into a trap that Jin told him was a trap.
Yeah.
And he's like, we'll just siege them down. And he's like, dude, people are fucking dead because you fell right into a fucking trap like an idiot. And he's like, well, I did it with honor at least. And he's like, bro. He's like, they died with honor, bro. I was like,
yeah,
well,
that guy's an idiot.
Well, like, bro, their fucking families won't care that they died with fucking honor. Because guess what? They want their fucking sons back. Like, what do you mean?
Dude, my favorite part of that game was just dressing up. Just dressing in all these different outfits and stuff.
Sick.
It's fucking sweet.
The customization is so fucking tight. I will.
I have the basket hat where you have to like beat all the missions or something.
No,
But
I'm not gonna go lie. The ghost armor is, now that I'm finally like seeing it on my own screen, is a little underwhelming. Maybe it's because I don't like the cape. Maybe that's why I really don't like the cape. I'm not a fan of the cape at all.
You have to upgrade them as well, right? When you upgrade it,
I've got my two favorite armors in the game are the Ghost armor and the Clan Sakai armor, which in my opinion, the Clan Sakai armor is probably the best in the entire game. Is probably one of the best in the entire game.
I went full like blind swordsman type vibes. I went with the Ronin. With like the Ronin, like what's it called?
Straw Hat Ronin.
Yeah, like that. But I have the basket hat. It's fucking badass.
It's cool. You know what? You have to get the what's that fucking that technique that the spirit of Yarikawa uses? What is that called?
The spinning attack.
No, the one where like it's like a chain sort of attack, or it's like the fuck. I don't remember what it's called.
Huh?
Oh, I also did all of what's his face's swords. Fucking the crazy dude in the stop. Stop.
What swords?
Fucking I've already forgot the crazy guy who was like it was a bunch of Ronin and shit.
It's like the duels. You're talking about the duels?
Yeah, the duels.
Dude, the duels were so fucking cool.
The duels were really fucking cool.
Fuck. The games I want to play it again.
I'm a huge fan of the Sakai clan armor, and then there's the other one where it's got like Kojiro or whatever the fuck his name is.
Gozira.
Yeah, you remember that DLC where they released Godzilla?
That'd be fucking badass.
That would be cool.
That'd be such a cool Easter egg if you looked down into the ocean and you saw Godzilla, like his back or something.
Or like you actually hear him roar instead.
Mm-hmm. You see his babies. You have to kill his babies.
No, that's Gojira, not Godzilla.
Oh, Gosaku's armor. That's why I like Gosaku's armor a lot.
Oh, with like the wolf pelt and stuff.
No, it's got the orange and stuff. It's got the really big shoulder pads, but it's also got this really fucking big imposing helmet that you wear, and it's got like fur running down the back of it.
Yeah. God, that game is so good, dude. Oh my god.
It's really good.
It is such a great game.
The
and
Sakai
the
clan
second
armor
one's
is.
coming out soon.
Wait, there's a second one?
Yep.
They're working on it.
Then they say it's gonna be
What?
mainland Japan, right?
Probably it has to be because you do face the shogunate at some point in Jin's life.
Dude, I want to go to Tokyo and bathe in the hot spring with my ass showing.
Yeah, see,
I
that's
don't think
that's
Tokyo was around that time, like a fully developed Tokyo.
no. I think it was
Well,
called
no,
something
but it
else
would.
at that by then.
It was
back then.
no, Tokyo was still around, but I think the capital
Maybe you get
was
to
somewhere
see
else.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki before the bombs hit.
What's it called? It's something with an S. It's like a little bit more north of Tokyo. There's some fucking city that was the old capital. Everybody there is super pretentious about themselves. They think they're so
Tsushima?
cool. Not Tsushima. Tsushima's the island that you're on.
Oh, wait, I'm
Tsushima's
stupid.
that,
I forget what it was called. It's something with an S, and
Sayonara?
they're all like put their noses up at people because they're like the old
you know,
capital.
by the way, I'm fairly certain Tokyo at the time, like of Ghost of Tsushima, was called Edo. I don't think I'm correct.
That was the age.
Mm.
No,
Well,
Nippon
no. Well,
is what Japan was called.
I know the Edo period was an age, but the reason it's called the Edo period is because all of that economic and all that economic prosperity of the time was centered around the city of Edo, which is now Tokyo.
I'm sure some big
That's what-
fat weeb is just fucking
fucking
fuming
know.
at
They're
us
just
not
tough-
knowing.
just typing.
It's like, how dare they not know anything about Nippon, dude?
Though I will say, Ghost of Tsushima, it's a great game, not historically accurate whatsoever.
No.
It's a horrible history
Not
game, dude.
historically accurate, but
It is historic.
the traditions are there.
Yeah, but like in terms of the events of how the Mongol invasion of Japan, but was really Tsushima played out, it's entirely fabricated for the purpose of theatrics, though, not because they're actually trying to rewrite history. Because in the real battle, the Mongols never even landed on Tsushima.
No, they got hit by like a bunch of fucking evil waves.
Coastal winds blew them away from, kept them away from the island, and then a storm basically sunk half the fleet, and they went home.
It happened to them twice. The second time
yeah,
they're just like, fuck it, we're not going here
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly. The Mongols never Mongols never landed on Tsushima or anywhere near Japan.
Yeah, and then Japan was like, we're gonna get revenge on these people, and they eradicated
then-
millions of Chinese people.
And then 40 years later, not 40 years later, and then like hundreds of years later, Japan's like, this was our most valiant victory ever. We fought off the Mongols. It's like, you never even fought.
How did the Mongols
No,
go down?
I don't know. The Mongol Empire, if I remember, was just made up of like a bunch. I'm talking like hundreds of major tribes that formed into dynasties, and then the entire empire was just composed of like a handful of these dynasties that agreed to, be one large empire. To conquer the mainland. That mainland, what is now Russia and China and Mongolia, of course. And it was just like there's a lot of infighting in their
I mean, the
empire,
Mongols
though.
expanded all the way down to like Egypt and shit.
The Vikings did the same thing. That's probably what kept happening is they kept uniting, and then they were like, "This isn't actually working out," and then they just started fighting between each other.
I don't know if I just looked it up. It didn't go to it went Mongol Empire. It went far, but it didn't go to
Didn't
it
go to
didn't go
Egypt.
as far as no. It went to what is now modern day Iran. So it went to the Persian Gulf.
That's
Never
that's
broke into
ginormous,
India,
dude.
Never broke into India, which I think is interesting.
No, the Indians put spices on the floor. They couldn't cross it.
They're like ants.
Stupid.
Is that what you're saying?
No, because they're Chinese.
They threw a bunch of expo marker on the ground, and they just couldn't fucking get over it.
Yeah, and then what I said before, there were a bunch of different dynasties, or that was called I guess they were called khanates that made up the empire. So there were 3 smaller khanates, and then there was the great dynasty of Khan and Yuan, which was Genghis Khan and his family.
What would you do if you were Genghis Khan?
I do
The
what
same thing he
Genghis Khan.
did.
About to say what he did.
You do what he did? That's fucked up.
Have
Do you not know what he did?
Dude,
rape
do you know how
people.
many? Well, that and do you know how he had so many fucking? Well, he raped so many women. He also had so many fucking concubines that something like dude, a decent percentage of modern day Mongolia and lots of Asia are related to him.
Yep.
He got so many women pregnant.
He also murdered millions of Chinese people.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes,
He's
I
got
would do exactly
16.
what he did.
Yeah, he's got 16 million descendants.
That's fucking crazy.
That's fucking wild. And then, granted, that includes the children of children of the women he got pregnant and assault and raped, but also their descendants after. So it's that number's gonna keep going up, baby.
I would invent a gun if I was
They did. They
Genghis
did
Khan.
invent. Well, they didn't invent it, but they did consistently use. What were those They had the cannons. I forgot what
Cannons,
the fuck. They had some type of cannon that would actually fire like incendiary rounds.
arrows.
No, it was probably the Hacha.
You know, I
Or
got,
the,
I got
the Hachas. It was that, and then there's something else that actually shot like a fucking cannon that was an incendiary round.
Well, I would invent the musket like thousands of years earlier.
I'm sure they,
okay,
I'm
you
sure
know
they
what?
would use it.
I'm gonna ask you the Theo Von question that
What?
like most people know. But I'm gonna do the Mongol Empire. If you went back to the Mongol Empire with a fully charged iPhone, do you think you could take over the world?
Oh no, they'd kill me right away.
They
Yeah,
call it
they would kill
witchcraft.
him.
I'd show
They
them a
break
bunch.
the phone too.
I'd show them a bunch of cringe videos.
They break the phone too, so nothing would change. The only difference is you're
Yeah.
just dead.
I'd show them like 1,000 cringe videos, and they'd fucking be overloaded and kill me.
You'd show them like Mongolian shit porn or something.
Yeah, I'd show them like the guy bathing in a sewer.
Like, look at this. This is your future. This is your future.
I'd show them furries and stuff. They're like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, I showed them the girl singing like, as a gummy bear with the green face painted. That terrible video. They wouldn't even understand me though. I don't speak any Mongolian.
I don't even know what they would have spoke back then.
They would have spoke Chinese probably, or
Mongolian.
Mongolian, like South Park.
Yeah.
I guess yeah, they would just speak Mongolian, right? I mean Chinese and like the what's it called? The subsex of Chinese is just like the most ancient language, right?
I don't know.
That's still used. I mean,
There's so many different there's so many fucking different dialects of Mandarin out there, and in mainland China on its own, it's fucking crazy.
yeah. Well, most people speak Mandarin, but a lot of people also speak Cantonese nowadays.
Mhm.
I'm sure I'm sure if you spoke modern Mandarin and or Cantonese back then, they'd probably understand you. Maybe.
No, yeah. A lot of people Cantonese is like one of the fastest growing languages in the world at the moment, I think.
Like imagine going
Or maybe
back to England, right? Way back when English was first being developed. They probably think you sounded weird, but you could probably understand them. At least kind of.
I gotta show y'all this.
Right?
Alright. I'm gonna show y'all this, and then y'all can describe what you're seeing. Just give me a second.
Okay.
What
I
am
need
I
to
looking
click
at?
off of this quick. What
There it
is
is.
that? Bro's got a crosshair on the screen.
And
Bro's got
I
a
can
fucking-
turn this on. Like if I play a game without a crosshair,
That's evil.
I just.
You know what's the best part? I could do that too.
yeah, I think
Can you
I
really
could do
buy
that
it?
too. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I can do
it comes with my laptop.
Yeah.
So I have turbo cooling, I have a stop and play, and I have a turn off screen function.
Turbo cooling. What the hell's that?
There's a
So-
keybind where you can just lock your computer, right?
Did you know if you delete System
Yeah.
32, it actually makes it run faster?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No, don't actually do that. Don't actually do that.
So if I can y'all hear this?
No, I'm not listening.
Is it? No, I don't hear anything.
Okay, well, it's a function that turns on. It makes the fans for the cooling run faster,
Oh,
so
I
it
see.
gets yeah. So it quickly cools. Like I'm kind of liking this new laptop.
Oh, you got a new laptop. That's good.
Yeah, that's what's going on with this.
Does it have a cup holder?
Yeah, right here. Can you hear it?
Does it have a penis receptacle?
Does it have
Can you hear it?
a ball cooler
Yeah,
when it's sitting
it's
on your
got
lap?
that. Yeah,
Bro, some people might call that gross, but a lot of us need a fan hitting our balls at all time.
Dude,
Stick baby powder.
I need someone to have my balls in their mouth at all times of the day, or else they fall off. It's fucking real, dude. It's a real medical.
You just want someone to have their balls in your mouth all day? How
no,
you gonna like
no,
function
my
as a
balls in
human
their
being?
mouth. But yeah,
Sorry, the sources weren't clear as I unzip my pants.
Oh no.
yeah. Bordelon has to put his balls into a fleshlight, or else they fall off. He's like shove them deep inside.
And people think I have a huge junk. I don't. That's just the
It's just your
that's
ball
just the
protection.
flashlight holding my balls. Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for making fun of disabled people, by the way, Argus.
When did I do that?
And I'm not even tracking what's going on.
When
right
did I
now,
do?
right now,
Yeah. When
when you're joking about me putting balls in my mouth, even though I have a medical condition. Okay, bud.
Oh, you need to have a. You need to have,
But anyways, if you guys have medical conditions in the comment, you can put them in the comments below. Bye, everyone. See ya.
We can
Bye.
make fun of them.